Hello, my name is Joseph, and today I'm going to be showing off self-publishing in Homegames. So essentially, for as long as I can remember, Yazid and I have had this conversation about how people actually add games to Homegames. It's kind of been this back and forth about the review process, about how something gets into the platform, basically, and how much human involvement needs to be in that. So basically recently decided to look into setting up kind of a, like I said, self-publishing workflow where someone can go and make a game, publish a game, and then someone on the other end can play that game on Homegames, and Yazid and I don't even know that someone did that. So what I have right now in front of me is the website, just like the new developer dashboard, I'm calling it, that I'm working on. Kind of auto logs me in here as myself, just for demo purposes, obviously. Anyway, hard-coded password in here is not a good idea. But I don't have any games at the moment. I haven't published any games. I haven't created any games. That's just what the developer dashboard looks like for me at the moment. And over here I have Homegames running, and it's just kind of standard, regular Homegames with what we've seen for a while now. But we've also got this search text up here, which I'll get back to in a little bit. But back to this game dashboard. Basically, let's say that I have this game over here that I've been working on. It's called Doodad. Pretty happy with it, and I want to publish it and make it playable for everybody else who uses / plays Homegames. So what I'm going to do over here is say I'm going to make a game called Doodad. Okay, and also this is obviously not final design on anything or final anything on anything. This is just basically the proof of concept working as of 30 minutes ago, and I decided to make a video. Anyway, so I click on this now, and I see the kind of detail for Doodad. This is kind of the container for all of the metadata for this game in the future. Right? It doesn't exist in Homegames, like I haven't associated any code with it. It's just the idea of Doodad. And so what I'm going to do right now is publish a new version of it. And so I'm pulling this info from GitHub, right? The owner of the repo is Prosiv, which is my personal GitHub repo. The repo name is Doodad, right? Again, just pulling it from GitHub here. And the commit I want to build from, right? So just, how do I get to the commits? Oh no, okay. Which version of the code do I want to build? I can always just pull from the head of main or whatever your kind of default branch is, but I'm also giving the option to build from a specific commit. So let's just pull from the latest one, which is this hash here. Again, just pulling straight from GitHub. And I click submit. In the background, the website is taking that code, downloading it, and kind of running some automated testing on it to first make sure that it is a home game. It's not just some random code that may not even be JavaScript, because at the end of the day, it's just pulling in a file that you tell it about. Okay, so now when I go back over here, you see there's a version on the right, and I'll talk about versioning in a little bit. But essentially, I published a new version of this game. Here, it was created on this super not readable date format. I can download the code from here, just get the zip of what Homegames downloaded and tested, and you see the status created. So if you think about what I just did, I'm a Homegames user, right? Like in the top left it says Joseph, I'm authenticated as Joseph. But I pulled the code from just some random GitHub profile. It just so happens to be my own, but how do we prove in the future that the code that you're bringing in, you're kind of authorized to do so? So basically, the Homegames service in the back of all this stuff will say, okay, you've submitted a new version, and yeah, it's a home game, but we need to confirm that the person who wrote this code is okay with you doing this. And so I got an email here to the email address associated with my personal GitHub profile. You see here, I don't know if you can see on the camera, and I don't have any monitor to know what's on the camera. Anyway, it's click here to confirm the submission. And I click here, and now I have nice on the screen, which is just the response I give when you confirm the code. And the code is just a unique thing that, we email you. That code is kind of like a password. So when a person with that email address clicks that code, it's our way of confirming that, that person was okay with this code being submitted. But anyway, now I go back over here and you see the status is approved. And it's because, like I said, I clicked on that link in my email. At the moment, this doesn't actually have any sort of effect. but in the future this will. It's just that we have the status at the moment, approved and not approved, that kind of stuff. Anyway, at this point, Doodad is published. And so on the other side of this, we need basically to play it now. And so at the moment, our very bare bones version of that is this search text thing. It's an exact match search. So if I type like Doodah, for example, I won't get Doodad. I need to know that Doodad is exactly this name. But I can search this, and this is different from every other game that was just there, because all those other games kind of ship with Homegames. They're code that lives on your computer along with the actual Homegames platform. But this I just published, Doodad, right over here, Doodad. And Homegames itself wasn't updated at all as to bring Doodad here. And I can click this, and I should be getting the versions on the right here to pick which version I want to play, but at the moment I'm just getting the latest. And so if I click this, the child game session is actually downloading the code in the same way that I can, again, here, just pulling this from the website. It's the same code, and so this is Doodad at the moment, right? This is my super cool, it's actually just modified layer test, but it's Doodad, right? This is my simple game that just lives over here, completely outside of Homegames. And just to kind of show this off a little bit, let's go to Doodad locally, and let's update it so instead of green, it is red. So now I'm going to commit this really quick, work in progress, git push, and I'm just pushing this other commit to GitHub. And I'm just going to pull the latest commit that I just made, right? And I'm going to go back to the publisher thing here, and I'm going to say, okay, now basically build another version of Homegames from this new commit. It's going to do the same thing that it did before, right? It's going to run some stuff in the background. It's going to refresh. I can come back here, and now I have a version 2. This is all kind of busted at the moment because I don't refresh like the search results and that kind of stuff. I mean, this is like a really early anyway. I'm going to research for it for Doodad just so I know it gets the latest data. And then now when I play it, it's all red. And I didn't even restart the Homegames server. Like, it's been running the same one in the back this whole time. And so you see here, it downloaded version 2 in the back. It's logging basically everything it's doing. And so this is version 2 of Doodad. And you'll also notice I didn't have to reconfirm because, again, that stuff isn't actually being examined in any kind of way right now. It's just there. But this game is searchable for me. Even though it's unapproved and all that kind of stuff, it just was published. I do have this toggle here to play or to allow unapproved games coming back in this search. But again, none of that stuff is currently looked at. It's just kind of an idea at the moment. But this proof of concept does work. And just to kind of prove it full circle, you know, no magic here, I'm going to look up A Lamau. And I'm going to, well, when there's no results, it shows you the default. Right, so just nothing came back, and that's what happened there. But let's say A Lamau is my hot new game I just decided I want to make. And let's say I want it to, I'm going to pull the same code that I use for Doodad. I have no validation against that at the moment, but hopefully that. Basically, I'm taking the Doodad code, publishing it as a new game called A Lamau, just to prove that the whole search stuff works. And then here's my A Lamau, and you have my version 1, that whole thing similar to before. But now when I search A Lamau on Homegames, I get A Lamau, the result back, because I just published the code, and now I'm playing the code. And this will all be very cool one day when it looks better and it runs better and it's more consistent and I can give it more time. But this is the proof of concept of self-publishing games and Homegames. There's obviously a lot of work to be done here in terms of a UI for discoverability for games, and basically like any sort of real game platform and everything that you would expect out of that, kind of opening this up here for a lot of new opportunity, I guess. There, super exciting. Just that we can even get this stuff working, I guess. I'm rambling. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is super cool to me. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Thank you.